He said lots of things concerning the title pressure, the title hand pressure between, it's not even between, because it's a 3-horse race, you know, and we don't know who is gonna really drop up first, because for a very long period of time we haven't gone ahead to find ourselves in a position of a team really being in what we call, or the league title reaching match whole April when it's a 3-horse race. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are, and go ahead to really smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, it's Mikel Ateta in action. That is Saturday, and the likes of City and Liverpool are going to be playing on Sunday, and that's how the chemistry is really unfolding there. He has said about Emile Smith Rowe and Reiss Nelson as to why he never really got the minutes when Arsenal was leading by 6-0, and he never brought on Reiss Nelson and the man himself, that is Emile Smith Rowe. Then he was asked on whether he's really having a secret prayer for Man City and Liverpool to draw such that he taps the table, you know, towards the last 10 games of the season. And then he talked about Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, right? So we even have a story about Aaron Ramsdale, you know. He has gone ahead to obviously have 3 paragraphs, all 4-5 paragraphs onto the current situation of the man that is really playing at Arsenal, and that is none other than Aaron Ramsdale. So that's why I tell you that smash like button to 300 times, and this is the live video that we've always gone ahead to promise you on a daily, that we are gonna be doing this. We are going to be doing this 1-hour video on a daily. Yesterday we missed out, but we obviously had to come out and really see to it that we really spice it up with the loads of things that you guys really want to know. And we are really having another video that I'm going to upload after. It's going to be all about Arsenal's last preparations ahead of the Brentford game. So that's why I always tell you that after subscribing, hit the notification bell, because that notification bell will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. Where should we start? Let's start it from let us start it from where should we start? All right, let's start it from here, because I really have lots of things to say today. And guys, tighten your seatbelts. So Ateta, on the pressure of Arsenal moving into the top spot, would put on the rivals. You know, he said, we know the demands that we have and the demands that Brentford are going to ask us to win the match, and identify that we are still not top of the league and we want to be better than where we were at the moment. And the other 2 are, so we have to continue to win. So tomorrow, I have told you that if Arsenal wins the game of Brentford, Arsenal is gonna go up the Premier League table with 64 points. With 10 games to go, Arsenal will be topping the Premier League table. So Ateta was asked on whether pressure moving into the sport would really impact on on Man City and Liverpool. He said, before thinking about that, can we first win our game? Because Ateta doesn't want to cross the bridge before he reaches it. So what he wants is, let him go all out, win his game of football. After winning that game of football, then in the post-match press conference after Arsenal winning, he will come out and really have a best answer to this. So I just can't wait to see what Ateta is going to tell the people that really support the side of Arsenal on what it means for him being on top of the table before Man City goes ahead to play on the side of Liverpool on Sunday. So that's what he said, and he said all they need is to win the game of football. And Brentford can really come out and shock Arsenal, though I told you that Arsenal are favourites and they went in for a 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. All what Arsenal need this time around is that win, and if that win really goes ahead to get into that, then it will do the needful. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Lewandowski has just missed a penalty here. That is a by the way. But Lewandowski has missed a penalty for Barcelona. Remember, Barcelona is really having a game of football right now, and they are playing. What's the team? What team are they playing against? Let me check. Info, please. They are playing against Mallorca, but Lewandowski. This is Ilkay Gundogan has gone ahead to miss out on the penalty of Barcelona. So it shows you how Barcelona is really struggling. So that is a by the way. But you know, I'm really watching the game of Barcelona right now, and that was a very huge update. It's still 0-0, 24 minutes played, and I think by the time we get done, I think this game of football will also have gone ahead to get done, and I'll give you the exact result as it will be coming in through. Now, we are still on the pressure that Arsenal is supposed to impact all mass onto Man City and Liverpool. If at all they win the game of Brentford, they need to win the game of they need to win that game of football. And I think I came up with that match preview video. You're gonna hate to watch it massively because as I speak right now, it's going to 6,000 views, and it's courtesy of you, the viewers of this channel, that I've gonna hate obviously go ahead and really take us to those levels. That video of Arsenal versus that video, Arsenal preview, is going in 6,000 views in less than 24 hours. You guys, I'm really happy that you are really pushing this channel to that level and continue. That's why I've decided that on a daily I should come out and really communicate to you, because I know what impact it brings. And most of your questions go on really lagging, but this time around I'm here to really answer your questions. If you feel like you have a question for me, the live chat is really there for us to really go ahead and express yourself down there. After expressing yourself down there, then he will obviously come out and really tell us exactly what you need. Now, Ateta was asked again on whether this is the best title race in the Premier League history. He said, I can imagine that for a lot of people, it's very interesting, and we want to make it very interesting, especially for us, so we have to keep going. So, obviously, for me, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. When you look at the Premier League table and how it's standing, it reflects exactly what a question was asked, or what answer to the question that was asked on whether this is the best title race in Premier League history. I admit it is. It is. I remember Manchester United, when Arsene Wenger came in through, it was Arsenal or Man United, two teams competing for the trophy. It was always a two-horse race. That is it. It was always a two-horse race. Man United, Arsenal. You get? When Chelsea brought in Jose Mourinho in 2004, after Arsenal had gone ahead to win the league unbeaten, to be the Invincibles, it was in between Man United and Chelsea. You know, sometimes Chelsea and Arsenal, but it was never a three-horse race. It was always a two-horse race. When Arsenal fell off, Chelsea fell off, and it was very hard. Sorry, when Arsenal fell off, it remained in between Chelsea and Man United. You know, Man City came in to try to put in a fight, you know, and when they really reached that level of really fighting for the trophy, it was between Man United and Man City. So when Sir Alex Ferguson left, it was either Man City taking on the side of, or versing it up with the side of Chelsea, you know. Liverpool, at a certain point, X came in through to try to win the trophy, especially in that season of 2015-2016, where Leicester City emerged champions, and Leicester City went ahead to really win that trophy. It was a two-horse race, I think, and it was between Spurs and Liverpool, and Spurs and Leicester City. Then, ever since then, you know, it has always been Liverpool and Man City, Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Man City. You know, it hasn't been anywhere close to a three-horse race. So that's why I really agree with everyone who believes that this is the best title race in the Premier League. And you look at the Premier League table and really understand how tough this race is. Can I really show you the Premier League table a little bit? I think I should show you this Premier League table a little bit, and you really see what you're talking about. These teams are left with 11 games, but they are not really willing to drop any points as it stands. And this is how the Premier League table is really looking for everyone who really doubts on whether this is the best Premier League season ever in the Premier League. Let's see. Look, 3 teams, each has gone ahead to play 27 games. They've all gone ahead to win 19 games, but what differs are the wins, losses, and draws. Liverpool has won 19, they've drawn 6, they've drawn 2, Then Man City has won 19, they've drawn 5, and they've lost 3. Arsenal has gone ahead to win 19, they've drawn 4, and they've lost 4. So 64 goals scored by Liverpool, 62 goals scored by Arsenal, and 68 goals scored by the side of Arsenal, Then 25 goals conceded by Liverpool, 27 goals conceded by Man City, and 23 goals conceded by Arsenal, meaning that Arsenal has conceded the least amount of goals in the entire Premier League season, So they top that table. Now, goal difference. Liverpool is having 39, Man City is having 35, Arsenal is having 45. Even Arsenal is topping this, Now, the points. Liverpool is having 63 points, then Man City is having 62 points, and Arsenal is having 61 points. So, if Arsenal win tomorrow, they'll go to 64 and they'll top the Premier League table. That's how tough this is. And after this fixture, Arsenal will have to be playing Man City on the 30th or 31st of March, when the players return from the international break. That's how everything is really going to pan out to obviously get everything up and running to the level that you guys really want it to be. So that is the Premier League table, and this is, to me, the best title race ever in the history of the Premier League. That is it. If you doubt it, prove me wrong with facts. Prove me wrong with facts. I want to see you getting me your facts and see whether they are right or wrong. So I think this is the best title race ever, though I think we are yet to see more, especially next season. When you look at how Man United is trying to obviously put itself together, coming in of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that team needs like 5 more players. And I've always said, if Man United gets into central defenders, 1 CDM to obviously compete with Casemiro, a centre forward to come in through and really compete with Rasmus Højlund, then a right back to compete with Diego Dallo. If they get in those 5 signings at the club of Man United, they'll join that ilk of fighting for the Premier League trophy. And next season, it might be a 4 or 5 horse race, because I anticipate Man City will show up, Arsenal will show up, Liverpool, I doubt, because their manager is really leaving, so I don't know how Liverpool is really going to be next season, but I think they are going to come up and really put up a fight as a side of Liverpool. Then Manchester United, if they stay with Erik ten Hag, I think it will be one of the hugest teams to obviously compete. Even Tottenham Hotspur, I believe Tottenham Hotspur will do the needful, because they're not like Aston Villa. Aston Villa is really having problems, the financial fair play problems, and they might lose Oli Watkins and Douglas Luiz to get in 200 million pounds to sign in more players. So that's why I really cross out Aston Villa, because it might not reinforce as they are supposed to reinforce in the summer. Man City will, Man United will, Arsenal will, Liverpool will, Tottenham Hotspur will. So next season, it might be even more than a 3-horse race. It might go to either a 4 or 5-horse race, because it is really going to be hard. And another record is going to be set next season. I've gone ahead to sit and hug today, talking about how his season has been bad, that he has gone ahead to lose, I think, is it 12 games this season in the Premier League, and insinuated that if at all he really had his players available, he would have gone ahead to lose like 4 of those games that he went ahead to lose out of the 12, meaning that he would have gone ahead to be having more 24 points that would have gone ahead to add to the already 44 that he's really having to 68, and insinuated that he would be on top of the Premier League table. That is Erik ten Hag for you. And if he says that, I have no reason to really doubt him, because if the team of United was available, trust me, it would have been a different reason altogether. That's why I tell you that it might be a 4-horse race. That is it. You might not want to hear it, but that's how it's really gonna be in that period of time. So this is the most interesting of all. This one really intrigued me to the bone marrow. Ateta was asked on if his secretary hoping Liverpool and Man City draw. He said, honestly, it is nothing to do with me. I will sit down with my kids and enjoy the match. So Ateta, obviously he knows that they have to see to it that they get up and running. If they win against Brentford, Arsenal goes on top of the Premier League table, and the only way to stay there on top is to see these two sides draw, you know. And if the two sides draw, then it's really gonna give Arsenal a very, 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 very good go. Because when you look at the games of Arsenal they are going to play next, it's Man City. Now, if Man City draws, that means it will go to 63 points and Arsenal will be having 64 points. If Arsenal go out and really win against Man City on the 31st of March, then they will go 4 points clear ahead of Man City. And remember, Man City has to play Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur, and so on and so forth. And that's why everyone is like, if Man City wins on Sunday at Anfield, then the trophy is theirs, because it's going to be hard for them to be stopped. But if you're Arsenal, what would you prefer? A draw, Liverpool to beat Man City, or Man City to beat Liverpool? Now, for me, this is what I would hope for if at all I'm an Arsenal fan. You might not buy my argument, but for my case, I think this is the best case scenario for Arsenal. The best case scenario for Arsenal for me is Liverpool beating Man City. Yeah. If you have to look at those two teams, a team that is most expected to lose another fixture in the remaining ones that Arsenal is already going to have to beat is Liverpool, according to me. Though people think that Man City should be beaten, though people think that it should be a draw. For me, if at all I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll go out and look at the fixtures of Liverpool. Let me show you why I think the best result for Arsenal should be Liverpool beating Man City. This is why I think it should be like that. Let me show you the fixtures of Liverpool. Remember, Liverpool is playing on Thursday, in the UEFA Europa League. After that game, Liverpool is going to be playing Brighton on the 31st, After playing Brighton, Liverpool will play Sheffield. Then there is this game of them going away at Man United at Old Trafford. Remember, by the 7th, Lisandro Martinez will be back. Anton Martial will be back. Rasmus Højlund is returning mid this week. Look, Tyrell Malacia will be back. You get? So, that will really act well for the side of Arsenal. Because if Man United, I think we can agree on this, that if Man United is having its squad fully fit, Liverpool cannot even get a point. Liverpool cannot really even get a point there. They can't get a point. So, if we are to really continue like that, then I think that could be the best result that everyone can really get from this. So, the other fixture is Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool has to play at Aston Villa. Aston Villa is really hard side to go to. And so there are three fixtures that I believe are really going to be hard for Liverpool. That of Man United, that of Aston Villa, and that of Tottenham Hotspur. Those three fixtures aren't going to be any easy for Liverpool. Now, when you look at Man City, let me look at the fixture of Man City and see how which team they're really left with. Man City is left with Arsenal on the 31st. That is it. On the 31st of March, Arsenal is going to be playing at Etihad, right? Then Aston Villa next, you understand? Then Crystal Palace hosting Man City, Luton Town hosted by Man City, Tottenham Hotspur hosting Man City. It's not going to be an easy one. Nottingham Forest hosting Man City hosting Wolves, and they'll have to play out at Fulham and close it with West Ham at the Etihad. Now, when you look at these games, there is Man City versus Arsenal, right? Hard game for them. Man City versus Aston Villa, hard game for them. Man City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Those are 3 games that are really going to be hard for Man City to play. So, if you are Arsenal, what do you go for? What do you go for? People are calling in for a draw, but I think Liverpool is most likely to lose points than Man City, you know? And what Arsenal has to do is to pray to it hard, to pray to it that they really continue winning. But the only way I side with them with a draw is simple, you know? It's simple. That if they go on top of the table and they level up with Liverpool, you know, Man City will be at 63 points. Arsenal will be having 64. Now, Liverpool has a game to play at Man United on the 7th, you know, and on the 7th, Arsenal will be playing which team? Let me check. On the 7th of April, all 6th, Arsenal will be playing out at Brighton, and I tell you, the team of Arsenal will be having all its players back, with even Julian Timber. They'll be having Julian Timber back, and the rest will be history for the side of Arsenal. So, this is where I tell you that a draw can really be very profitable for Arsenal on Sunday, you know, according to everyone who analyzes the game of football, because if Arsenal go ahead and really beat Man City on the 31st, they'll take that stretch to 4 points, you know, and Liverpool have to be playing Man United, and if at all Arsenal continues to win its games, then the rest will be history. And the only way Arsenal will really get Man City out of this is doing what exactly they did to Liverpool at the Etihad. Sorry, at the Emirates, by knocking them out of the game. So I don't know what your thoughts are. What result? Let's go in here and I see what your thoughts are. Let me create a poll. Tell me, what result do you want from the game of Man City? Liverpool versus Man City. Result. What result do you want? Do you want a Liverpool win? Liverpool win. Do you want a draw? Sorry. Do you want a draw? All you want a Man City win. I've gone ahead to put up the poll. Tell me your thoughts about it. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want a Man City draw? Sorry, do you want a draw? Do you want a Liverpool win? Do you want a Man City win from that game? What do you exactly really want? Go into the comment section and really tell me your thoughts about that. So, Ateta says he'll be at home seated watching the game of football with his children because it's going to be really a day off. I think they're going to be having a day off for a very long time because even over the weekend, Arsenal is not playing any game. So they might return to training to the training sessions on Tuesday. That means they'll rest on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. They turn the train. After Sunday, these players will go to the international break and return towards the end of the month of March. So, go into there and vote. What result would you want? I'm talking about Arsenal fans, you know. What result would you want? Even Liverpool fans, you can vote. Do you want a Liverpool win, or a draw, or a Man City win? What do you want? Go into the comment section and tell me what your thoughts are about that. Now, let's leave it at that, but we are going to really get more from Mikel Arteta when the game of football is really done and dusted and played. And tomorrow, we are really changing lots of things tomorrow because I don't know whether I'll be having the gas because after towards 1 hour to the game, we'll be doing what we call the match day live. You are used to that. You know that it happens. That is a segment where we bring you the confirmed team news. After bringing you the confirmed team news, I'll go ahead and record the match reaction for Arsenal versus Brentford. Then after, I'll come up with the manager's reaction. That will be a live stream. Then after that, we'll come up with how it happened. So I'm going to be adding 2 more live sessions, you know, to the match reaction. The manager's reaction, Mikel Arteta's reaction to the game of Arsenal versus Brentford, and how it happened showing you how those different goals of Arsenal really went in through, how Arsenal missed out on those chances, and so much more. So that's what we are going to be really working upon, and pray to it that I really do the needful and really get the energy, because I have to do the same thing to Man United. And remember, tomorrow, Man United at 15:30 hours are really hosting Everton at Old Trafford. I'll do the match day live on the United Matters channel. Then I'll have to do the match reaction. After getting in the match reaction, I'll do the needful to bring you. I'll do the needful to bring you the latest news and information about how it happened, and then the manager's reaction. All those are live streams, and I pray to it that the Lord really hits me the energy. But I just want to keep you in the know, such that you guys are not missing out. I want to give you every detail, the reactions of the pundits after the game. All that is going to be put onto this channel, and hope you guys will be really willing to really download and really steer up with me. So I really want to get you everything covered, every after the game of football is done, such that you hear everything by yourselves. Smash the like button close to 50 times. Now, it's known rocket science that Aaron Ramsdale is going to be in goal for the club of Arsenal, as Arsenal takes on the side of Brentford tomorrow. And Ateta was asked on Aaron Ramsdale's game time this season ahead of Brentford. He says, "It is what it is. He's fully prepared. He trains really well every day. He's desperate to play like the rest of the players who haven't had that many opportunities, and Saturday is a great day for him." So, if you watched my match preview, I went ahead to let you know that it's really gonna be Arsenal doing the needful, and it's gonna be Aaron Ramsdale trying to prove to his haters wrong that he's really ready to take it on to where everyone really thinks. And ever since David Raya took over, he has just gone ahead to really get a chance once to really do the needful and really lead what we call the Arsenal side as far as being in between the stitches of Arsenal is concerned. But Ateta tells us that he's having that urge to start, and this is going to be his last game of Arsenal. That's no doubt. It's going to be the last game of Arsenal. You know that very well. And Arsenal are really going to really sell him off in the summer to raise more funds, to get in more and more and more and more players. Then he was asked about the attitude of this guy, that is Aaron Ramsdale. He said, "He's been brilliant. He's been really good, really supportive, really pushing everything in training like I expected, and it's a joy to have two top goalkeepers in the team." So Arteta is trying to obviously beat around the bush, but he knows that his player is not happy. His player is not happy at all, according to what is really happening. According to what is really happening at Arsenal, and with his lack of game time, I will be surprised if at all he makes it to the Euro squad, because when you look at other English goalkeepers, they are really having a bad spell. And the only advantage that Aaron Ramsdale has over other goalkeepers is that he's going to find himself in a position where he might be the only goalkeeper available to obviously go to the Euros, because Nick Pope is really injured, and we don't know whether he'll be fully fit to go to the Euros in Germany. But Pickford is the first choice goalkeeper, and Aaron Ramsdale, if at all he kept his position at Arsenal this season, I think would have gone ahead to push him out of the starting slot. So that's why Aaron Ramsdale is pushing to obviously go ahead and find another team to play his game of football in. That is Aaron Ramsdale for you, and that's what he's really bringing in here onto the Rokani Media Football. And he's disciplined, and Ateta is really very excited about what he has gone ahead to do at the side of Arsenal, and he is really having the best of the best in there for you. Then Ateta had to come in and really tell us something about the personality of this goalkeeper ahead of the game on Saturday. This is what he had to say. "One of the toughest things to deal with is for players who didn't have the amount of time they deserve. Not only Aaron Ramsdale, but with many of those, but we have an unbelievable group of players. we try to be straight and explain things and be close to them and give them the support that they want. And then when they have the opportunity at the end, they want to contribute to the team the best possible way. And that's what Aaron will try to do on Saturday. So Aaron Ramsdale is just ready. He is just ready to take it on to representing Arsenal to the fullest, and he knows exactly what it means for him representing Arsenal to the fullest. There is nothing that is really gonna really keep him off from really backing and taking Arsenal to those levels, and then he wants to do the needful. But he says it's not only him who is really having lack, not having enough playing time. There are even others: Emily Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah. Recently, he has been not even coming on from the bench, because the guy has been really in good form. That is, what's his name? Kai Havertz, El Nini is not getting enough playing time. Jakub Kiwior is off that queue because he has been really enjoying more and more time in his spell at Arsenal, because it was a blessing disguised for Julian Timber, Zinchenko, and Tomiyasu to be all injured at the same time. He has gone ahead to come in through, started 5 consecutive games for Arsenal, and the rest is history. He has proven to Mikel Arteta that you and Edo spending £21 million to sign me from Spezia in Italy was not really a mistake. And he has also gone ahead to really gate Ateta the right reason to obviously risk the money of Arsenal to sign more players like him, because right now, if you look at how he's playing, he looks like a 60-50 million pound player. That is Jakub Kiwior for you. He looks like a 60-70 million pound player. Now, after Arteta telling us that it's one of the hardest things to deal with players that are not getting enough playing time, a question was posed to him on 2 of the players have just talked about that have not been getting ample playing time, and those players were Reece Nelson and Smith-Rowe. He was asked on why Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, and Emily Smith-Rowe never played against Sheffield United. He said, "We discuss things and we cannot play every player in every game. Those players played a few games ago against Newcastle and they had opportunities to do that. Now we have 5 subs, but we had only 3. So we have another 2 players happy. That's the way I take it. But you always have players who want to be involved and play. But unfortunately, it's impossible. It's not in our hands. It's impossible to achieve that." So they know that. Now, sometimes you feel a little bit sorry for Ateta. These players would have gone ahead to get this time required, but when you look at the returnees from injury, there is no way these players can really get into even the game. When you're having Gabriel Jesus, your talisman, there is no way you'll obviously start him. You'll obviously gate Eddie Nketiah onto the pitch when you're having Gabriel Jesus, whom you need to get in minutes to prepare for your game of Brentford and the game of FC Porto, where Arsenal need to win that game of football with the margin of 2-0 to see to obviously go through to the round of 8. You need him ready. And Eddie Nketiah is one of those players that I think Arsenal are really going to sell. Let's all admit, Arsenal is going to sell these players. He's going to sell these players, and they're not obviously going to really have a go at that team of Arsenal. So for Emily Smith-Rowe, I think it's really going to be a hard decision for him to make, but I think things are not really moving on well. They are not really moving on well at Arsenal, and it has to obviously make a decision on whether to stay there for one more season and really test his luck, or else he quits the side of Arsenal, or he goes for a loan, because this summer transfer window, Arsenal is most likely to get more midfielders. And where is he going to be playing? Unless otherwise he really turns around and keeps himself fit. And for all those players, especially Emily Smith-Rowe, I don't blame Ateta. The player has failed to keep himself fit. Ever since he had a very good season in 2021, 2022, the following seasons, he has been injured. Last season, he spent almost 3/4 of the season when he's really out. So he hasn't gone ahead to do enough to keep himself fit to play for the side of Arsenal. For Reiss Nelson, he has been fit for the entirety of the season, but Ateta has shown him that however much you went ahead to put pen to paper on a new contract, you cannot get into my team. The position that he plays in is really highly competitive because there is Martinelli, there is Trossard, and he comes as a third fiddle player, and it is not written anywhere that he can really beat those players, and those players are not really injury prone. When Martinelli is injured, Trossard is there, and Trossard rarely gets injured. So I think Reiss Nelson was just tweaked by Arsenal. All they wanted was, let us obviously give him a new contract of like 5 years, 4 years, and a further option year. Then we're not going to use him this season of 2023 and 24. He'll ask for a loan or a permanent deal, and what they will do will be simple. They will get in the best player to replace him, and Arsenal will get in some money. I know Arsenal can get like £30 million from Reiss Nelson for a player that was groomed in your academy. Getting £30 million out of him will be something great. All else, they can even loan him to teams like Brighton and other teams that are going to be coming in from the Championship, and he performs very well, and Arsenal can really collect in some £50 million, because I know if he really got a loan to teams like Brighton, he would have gone ahead to really find himself scoring close to 10-15 goals and putting in some assists as Reiss Nelson, because we saw to it that when he left the side of Arsenal and went to Feyenoord, he really looked a good player, and he returned and really scored some important goals for the side of Arsenal. And every time Ateta has gone ahead to put him on the field of play, this guy has not gone ahead to disappoint. He has always put in a shift that is really well required. So if you have to look at Reiss Nelson, I think the best thing for him to do is to ask for loan next season, or else be sold. It was a very bad decision that he made not to really leave Arsenal in the summer. He would have gone ahead to go and sign for Brighton because they're willing to give him a huge sign-on fee, and Brighton was willing to obviously offer him first-team football, and De Zerbi is really a very good player. But I think that love he has for the team of Arsenal and feeling like I can stay here and really prove you right, and with the convincing tongue of Edu and Ateta, he really stayed. But I think they sold lies to him. It's like Eddie Nketiah. He is really having a struggling side at Arsenal, and those two players, I think, are some of those that Arsenal are likely to move on very, very soon as things really stand. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That's what Arteta really said about those two players, and they posed another question to him. I haven't said anything about Eddie Nketiah. For Eddie Nketiah, I think this is his last season at Arsenal. It's his last season at Arsenal. When you look at Arsenal, looking at players like Gyökeres, Zirkzee, Muriel, Victor Osimhen, Watkins, Santiago, Tokov, Victor Osimhen, and very many others, that shows you that they want to have Gabriel Jesus and one more other striker that can come in through and really get the job done and dusted. So it shows you that Eddie Nketiah is also going to leave. He's going to leave the side of Arsenal, and he has no time to really be there. So I think teams like Brentford can really go for him. There are teams that are really looking for centre forwards. Even if I'm Brighton, I can go for Eddie Nketiah, because I know Evan Ferguson is not going to be one of those players that they are going to keep for long. So that's what I think this is really going to be about. Then the other question they posed to Mikel Arteta about these two players I've been talking about was Ateta on if he has pulled Smith Rowe and Nelson aside to discuss their minutes. He said, you cannot really promise anything. You never know what is going to happen in 3 weeks or 7 days. Just I think we have to show the compassion, and they need to feel that we are next to them and we understand where they are. But the reality as well is that this is football. This is a team sport, and you have to understand and fulfill the role that you have in the moment. And it might be very different in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, because I've already told you that a day in football is always huge. A day in football is always huge. That's why I've always come out and said, you never know how a season of someone really ends. at any club because it keeps coming in through, and players might come in through and really erupt like last season. No one saw to it that Reiss Nelson was even going to stay at Arsenal. But you know what happened? What happened was simple. Reiss Nelson went ahead to really score important goals for Arsenal, put in assists, and obviously Arsenal had to discuss a deal with him, and they really went ahead to give him a new deal. That is how Arsenal really got to the nerve of this guy, and they saw him really sign for the side of Arsenal. So a lot of things really happened behind the doors, and we'll wait to see what will happen. But I don't really see these people getting in through, because when you look at Emile Smith-Rowe in that midfield, he cannot really get a starting position. That is it, because Partey is back. There is Rice, there is Jorginho, there is Fabio Vieira, there is Kai Havertz, there is Odegaard. You know, all those people I'm going to hate to mention are really ahead of him in the pecking order. On the left, where he really played very well in the season of 2021-2022, there is Reiss Nelson, there is Martinelli, there is Trossard. So he cannot really get there. Even Reiss Nelson, he really has two other players that are really ahead of him. And Edin Ketia looks like it's really going to be Jesus and Kai Havertz being looked at as the next big thing to lead the line of Arsenal. So he has gone ahead to drop deep in form, and there is no way he's really going to come out and really get going. So it's really hard, very, very, very hard for these players to obviously get minutes in, unless otherwise Arsenal gets more injuries. But Ateta has shown you that even when Fabio Vieira has been away, Thomas Partey away, there is no way Smith-Rowe will get a start in his team. And Edin Ketia, when Jesus has been away, he has not been trusted to be played as a centre forward. Kai Havertz has gone ahead to lead the line, and very many goals have gone ahead to be scored by us, meaning that he doesn't really need the services of Edin Ketia anymore. For Reiss Nelson, same. He doesn't really get anywhere. The only position he would have gone ahead to start and really do magic is that of Bukayo Saka, and looks like the manager is not willing to really sacrifice Saka for any player at the side of Arsenal. So that's how things are really panning out at the side of Arsenal and those players. But for Emile Smith-Rowe, he has just gone ahead to do himself a disservice, and it's really the hugest disservice a player will obviously ever do to himself. Why? Because the manager had already gone ahead to put him in his plans when he returned. He played, I think, some minutes against Sheffield, played very well. Then I think he started against Sheffield, and he had the chance to play in the Carabao Cup away in London. That is West London, when they're taking on West Ham. Guess what? He got injured and he was out for 2 weeks, and he lost out. But if at all he had gone ahead to start like 3 consecutive games, Emile Smith would have been one of those players that would have gone ahead to convince the manager and do the needful. All what you have to do is you need to keep yourself available. That is it. For your chance to come in through and really grab it. Like for Jakub Kiwior, all what he did was simple. He kept himself available and he went ahead to grab his chance, and no one really says he's not really ready for the job at Arsenal. So that is Ateta for you. And lastly, before I go into your comments, Ateta had something to say about the team news at Arsenal. And this is what he had to say, because most of you are asking me, what of Martinelli and Bukayo Saka? So he said the following. Sorry about that. He said, not much. We got some players back last Monday, and then we had Martinelli and Bukayo Saka with little issues, but we are pretty positive that hopefully they can be part of that, but we will have to wait and see how they are today. So it's a time to really assess them today, because they've gone ahead to conduct the last training session, and I'm going to bring you how this team of Arsenal really went ahead to train ahead of the game of Brentford and what really transpired. But Saka and Martinelli, I think Saka, for him, he's really ready to really take on this team of Brentford. But for Martinelli, looks like a late fitness test is supposed to be conducted. And it's good to see that Arsenal is really not having very many injuries towards the end of the season. 10 games to go in the Premier League. If they are to play until the final of the Champions League, they are left with 6 games 2 games on the quarterfinals, 2 games on the semi-finals, 1 game to play at Emirates in the round of 16, and the final. So those are the 6 games that Arsenal are really left with to play if they are to play in the Champions League final. So that means Arsenal has 16 games left. If those 16 games really go in the favor of Arsenal, then I see no way they are going to really get stopped. So the players are back, no injuries, because even Julian Timber, who is really the other player who is really injured, he's just moments away from really getting back into the team of Arsenal. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Mikel Arteta telling us him being ready for the Man City and Liverpool title hand pressure. What do you make about it? And the rest that you guys are really thinking about. Now I'm having Mwemba. For me, I need a draw. Clifford from Zambia Lusaka. So go into that poll and really vote. What do you want? What do you want as a national player? Okwalinga Robert, Man City win. This one really supports Man City and it really feels that it should be a win, and no Arsenal fan really wants to see Man City win. But on the other side, you can really look at it and say, when Man City wins, when Man City beats Liverpool. By the way, there is a narrative that Arsenal fans have not gone ahead to look through or look into. One, Arsenal, if Man City beats Liverpool, Arsenal will be at 64 points and Man City will be at 65. Now, if Arsenal beats Man City, if Arsenal beats Man City, Arsenal will go 2 points ahead of Man City, and they will be already because if at all Arsenal win, they will be 1 point ahead of Liverpool. So that means they will be 2 points ahead of Man City and 1 point ahead of Liverpool, But being at the same level with Liverpool, right? So I don't know what you guys think about it, but it's really a tricky one. But we'll wait and see the result of Arsenal versus Brentford, because that will give Arsenal the proper permutations that you'll obviously put up into your fixture. Then I'm having Amotu Sunday. Hello, good evening. Thanks for the good work you are doing for us. All right, thank you for watching in through. But smash the like button, guys. Smash it to 40 times. Smash the like button close to 40 times, because we're only having 9 people that have gone ahead to smash the like button. Then Mwebembezi, Arsenal wins tomorrow, and if Pool and City draws on Sunday, expect Arsenal to take this trophy. I think it's too early, but I think Arsenal can take the trophy. Man City can take the trophy, and Liverpool can still lift the trophy. So I don't have a conclusive answer for that, but the biggest game that is going to show us what's going to really do is the game of Arsenal versus Man City. I tell you this, if Arsenal goes to collect 3 points away at Man City, then the trophy will have gone ahead to draw in their hands, because Liverpool has to play away at Old Trafford, Man City has to play Aston Villa, they have to play Tottenham Hotspur, right? They have to play Spurs at the London or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They have to play Aston Villa. Those 2 games are really going to be huge. So they need to do the needful, and those games are coming thick and fast. After Arsenal, they play Aston Villa. After Aston Villa, I think they're going to play Tottenham Hotspur. So Man City really has some tough games to do. Suzy Meron, Rokani, I think a draw. Pool and City draw. All right. Thank you for obviously watching in through, and it's always nice having you onto this beautiful channel. And I think let's end this poll and really come up with the best of a prediction that you guys have gonna hate to put in. After ending this, I've gonna hate to see to it that 71% are calling in for a draw. That is it. Then Liverpool, 14% win, and 14% are also calling in for a City win. So most of the people watching in this channel have gonna hate to call in for a draw, between Liverpool and Man City, of which I believe it's really gonna be possible. And tomorrow morning, I'm coming up with a match preview for that game, predicted starting 11, the team news, and what those 2 managers went ahead obviously say about their fixture that they are yet to play down in Anfield. That is on a Sunday. So, what haven't I talked about? We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload here on a daily. What's your take about the Aaron Ramsdale situation? I want to see you guys flock in the comment section and tell me what your thoughts are about it. Then you need to come out and really tell me about Bukayo Saka and Martinelli injury boost. Rest Nelson, Edin Ketia, and Smith Rowe lack of playing time. What do you make about it? Are you really okay with it? Because these two players look like they've been doing a very good job at Arsenal, but it looks like they haven't gone ahead to really get appreciated by the manager. Then Ateta hopes of seeing Arsenal on top of the Premier League table and him not succumbing to the pressure, because he believes that he now has what it means and what it takes to really win the trophy, as Liverpool is playing City over the weekend. May the living to God bless you abundantly, right? Rokan David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I sign out for now. See you later. And it's a 5-finger salute to everyone watching in through. It has been a nice live stream. 50 minutes of talking to you. I've gone ahead to enjoy everybody that has been part of us. I see Clifford Mwemba, then Okwaringa Robert, Amoto Sunday, then Cabs Mwebembezi, and Meron Susie. Thank you guys. I sign out. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The ladies, happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. International Women's Day. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David, I'm out for now. Bye-bye.